You know what they say, any publicity is good publicity, and being infamous is still having fame. And in Blaineley's case, all drama is good drama. Or as some might know her as, Mildred Blaineley Stacey Andrews O'Halloran, you can just call her Blaineley. Yes, out of all characters, Blaineley. Yes, the Blaineley, the Blainerific Blaineley. Why, you might be thinking? Well, over the past few months, I've seen a lot of tier lists, and I mean a lot for this series, and it kind of surprises me that she's usually subjected to the bottom half, if not the worst portions of all those tier lists, or most of them at least. And this got me thinking, why? And for what reason or another? This makes me think she's pretty much hated for no real reason, and could stretch it and say she's the most over-hated character from that viewpoint, though that's almost nonsense, of course. Blaineley herself was a rather unique character to the series, as she was someone who popped back up here and there, and then actually got a small shot to try and compete with the other contestants. And I'll say she was pretty good with the time she had, and she followed what the title says, all drama is good drama. Pretty much Chris's mantra until he realized that, people being in pain is pretty cool, dude. Blaineley was like Chris, but just toned down and not as chaotic, and because of that, it's pretty fitting that someone like her would try and use every sort of method she could try and use to win the second she got on the show, because she did have a few things that most of the contestants didn't have. Connections, actual money, certified fame, experience on camera and with television, I guess. She had it all, so from that, she makes a fun and unique antagonist. Like, she absolutely flat out knew that Chef had an alliance with DJ before, and it didn't work out. And she said, no, it's gonna be better and different, because you've got me this time. That's a pretty bold move, I'll give her that, along with the fact that she was very competitive in the few episodes she was in. And I know that she's not the end-all be-all villain of the season, because Alejandro has a strong grip on that crown, but I can't even understand how anyone could say that she's a bad villain or even a bad character, really. Or with going with the lamest excuse that applies to many characters, she's mean, therefore she's a bad character.
What?
That doesn't really work, because when you know a character is clearly and obviously being written as an antagonist or villain, that should also tell you, okay, this person is now in a contest to try and prove themselves as the most slimy scumfuck bastard there could be, while also having a little bit of background to them to make them feel somewhat human and real. The only time that doesn't really work out is when the character that's a villain is unironically bad at being bad, or at least fairly interesting. And Blaineley had some personality to her, that's just added on top of the terrible things she does do. The same thing goes for other major antagonists or villains throughout the series. We know what they like, what they dislike, who or what they hate for XYZ reasons, their fears, their families sometimes even. That's what makes them fleshed out. Hell, even though I said Scarlet wasn't the best villain and kind of a bad one, she had a little bit of something to her outside of her evil deeds. You know, instead of just maniacally rubbing your hands together and laughing 24/7. Insert Mal roast here. That's what makes a villain great. So saying they're mean, so they're an awful character, again, doesn't really work. And I'll be honest and say that, yeah, sure, Blaineley wasn't the most perfect villain, or even the most great character within all of World Tour and the whole series, but for sure a unique character that was only there for a handful of episodes, and did quite a bit in that time.
Can you get her out of here?
I don't know. This part's kind of fun.
Oh, you want to hear something really fun? They wanted me to host the show. You only got the job because I said no and...
Is it really quiet in here all of a sudden, or is it just me?
And I know what some might be thinking or saying, well, I don't hate her character or her being an antagonist, I dislike her because she took up screen time that could have been given to someone else, aka a redemption or something. Which, looking at it, there's really only a few characters who could have been brought back and might have ended their arc properly. Seeing who's left in the game by this point, who could have actually returned to make things right, mostly for themselves. I'll say this right now, you wouldn't be able to bring back these characters. Not because I have a personal grudge against them or anything. The first reason is because they wouldn't contribute that much to the game, or plot more importantly. Like, what would Noah do if he was brought back? Tell people that Alejandro is evil like before? Everyone already knows that by now. Plus, he's not the most competitive person, so he really wouldn't even stand a chance against these freaks and monsters. And the second reason is because their story is pretty much done from their own time, or from the fact they're heavily associated with another who isn't in the game anymore. Like, you couldn't bring back Trent because 91% of what he does is Gwen related. And she's not in the game anymore, of course. So the best candidates would be that of Team Victory, pretty much, of mostly what happened to them throughout the season. More so of DJ and Lindsay, I would say. They don't even need to win, of course. Just have an episode or big moment where the characters themselves have come full circle or finished off on a note that's best for them than it was previously. Lindsay could have more interactions with Heather and Courtney, show off how far she's come without them breathing down her neck. And DJ, just for him to do something to have a better ending from the whole animal curse thing, which was really dumb, because his character ended fairly well in action, but then got all fucky with the unnecessary curse in the next season. But those are what ifs and speculations and not really the focus of the video. It all has to be about this girl. You know, the one who's not that bad of a character and gets hated a little more than the usual character for doing the role right of all things. She's quite Blainerific. Blaineley definitely made things unique and shook things up for everyone around when she first showed up, from the aftermath and to the actual show. And by the end of all this, you can love her or hate her, say whatever you want. All drama is good drama by the end of it. And that is the video on Blaineley. I wanted to do a quick video on her because, again, I kept seeing all those tier lists every now and then and thought, like, why is Blaineley always at the bottom, even though she's not that bad? But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Stay safe. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else, you know what to do. Bye.